Okay, so welcome guys. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Jason Gorenstein, and thank you guys so much for being here today. This is our Hatha Yoga Level 1 class, Sunday, June the 14th, 2020 at 10:15 a.m. Once again on Facebook Live. If you're catching this class later, you may be catching it on YouTube, and you can find your way over to Facebook if you're interested in live streaming classes. So without further ado, let us begin. We're going to begin today's class lying on our backs, knees bent, feet wide apart, and just begin by closing your eyes. And as you find your way into your breath, just start to notice your posture in and out through the nostrils here. So letting that breath continue to move naturally. And just continuing to breathe here. So as you continue to breathe, this is a great opportunity for us to just check into the body and just notice where we are this morning. Noticing your back resting on the mat, noticing the back of your head releasing down to the floor, noticing your feet coming in contact with the mat. And these are great ways that we can begin to find our way back into our daily practice. And from here, you'll take your hands and you'll walk your hands all the way towards the feet. And as you press down through the feet, you'll begin to inhale, lifting the pelvis up, allowing the tailbone to lift up, and just letting the belly hug into the navel. And as you exhale here, releasing the tailbone all the way down towards the mat. Good. As you inhale, peeling up the pelvis, allowing for the tailbone to lengthen towards the backs of the knees. And as you exhale, lowering down and releasing the tailbone all the way down towards the mat. Once again, as you inhale here, pressing down through the tops of the feet, begin to peel the chest up, begin to peel the heart up. As you exhale, begin to lower your way all the way down to the mat. Good. Now, if you have a strap, you're going to take hold of your strap and place your strap over the top of your right foot. If you don't have a strap, you could take both of your hands behind the back of the right leg and extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. So, otherwise, right foot, right on, strap just right under, or right below the ball of the right foot. And as you breathe here, just breathe into that right leg. It's called Supta Padangusthasana pose with a bent left knee. And just breathe here into the shoulders. Allow the back of the head to be long. Allow the eyes to be closed. Allow the breath to be long and slow. Good, and then you'll bring that knee to a bent position, release the right foot down. Take the strap over the top of the left leg and extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. So again, here you could draw both shoulders down to the mat, press down through the top of the right foot, continue to press the left thigh forward as you draw both shoulder blades in towards the chest. As you breathe here, the belly continues to retract down towards the mat, the eyes continue to soften. Breath is long and slow. Good, and as you exhale, just bringing that left knee to a bent position. From here, you'll roll the knees over to your left side, arms are out at your sides, Jartha Parivartanasana, just simple twist of the legs. And then you'll move the knees over to the other side. And one more time, you'll move the knees over to the other side. Press your way on up. And find your way into a seated position. Just any place on the mat. You could sit on a blanket. You could sit on your blocks. Taking your hands into the center chest. And if you'd like to join me in an Om to start today's class, taking a deep breath in. Releasing the chin towards the chest. Inhale, floating the eyes open. Good, and releasing the hands to the sides of the body. So we're going to find our way into cat and cow pose. So as you find yourself ready, come onto your hands and your knees. Spread the fingers wide apart. See that the wrists are parallel with the front of the mat. Continue to wrap the outer arms in. And as you continue to press down through the tops of the feet, inhale, peel your chest on up. Good, and as you exhale here, round through the top of the spine, release the head all the way down between the hands. As you inhale here, peeling the chest up, lengthening through the heart, chest, and sternum. And as you exhale, rounding through the spine, releasing the head all the way back and down to the mat. As you inhale here, peeling the chest all the way up. Good. And as you exhale, rounding that spine. Now take your toes under and press down through the tops of the feet. As you exhale, find your way into downward facing dog pose. As you take downward facing dog pose, spread across through the fingers. Release the head on down. And allow the back body to be long here. There's a light bend in those knees. Thigh bones continue to press back towards the hamstrings. Head releases down towards the mat. And the shin bones continue to lengthen back all the way to the backs of the heels. Good. And as you feel ready here, you're going to shift forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. Lower those knees down to the mat. And then one more time, take cat and cow pose. So inhale, peeling the chest up. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, peeling the chest up. Exhale, rounding through the spine. And again, inhale, peeling the chest up. And exhale, rounding through the spine. So spread through across the fingers, press down through the thumb, forehand, and wrists. Inhale, float the knees back and up. Downward facing dog pose. Float the right leg up. Right leg floats to the back of the room. And as you float the right leg up, just breathe here. Continue to lengthen as you press through the fingers. Good, and as you exhale, lower that right foot on down. As you inhale, float the left leg up. So press through the right ball of the foot, press through the fingers, wrap the outer arms in. Hug the belly in. As you exhale, lower the left foot on down. So continue to lengthen the outer heels back to the back of the mat. Release the head on down. Feel the forearms lifting up as the fingers spread wide apart. Feel the toes spread wide apart and the heels lengthening back to the back of the mat. Now walk the hands back towards the feet, finding your way into a forward fold here. Light bend in those knees, releasing the head towards the thighs, and breathing. Good, you'll take your hands, you'll bring your hands to the hips, you'll press down through the tops of the feet, inhale. Feel the chest on up, find your way to standing. So as we find our way into standing, just spread across the feet. Allow the palms to be spread wide apart. Feel the inner and outer ankles lifting up, the calf flesh moving towards the shin, the thigh flesh moving towards the hamstring, the buttocks flesh moving towards the heels. Light engage in the belly here as you lengthen through the sternum and release the trapezius muscles all the way down the spine. As you inhale here, float the arms up. See that the fingers are parallel with one another. Fingers are spread wide apart here, just like the toes. And as you continue to breathe here, wrap the outer arms in. So now take your arms, bring your arms out to your sides. Begin to bring the pinkies towards one another so that the pinkies are facing one another, palms are facing the ceiling. Now as you draw the belly in, continue to lift the outer arms up and allow the frontal chest to soften here as you lengthen all the way through the pinky fingers. That's it. As you exhale, release the hands out to the sides. Good. One more time. So take your arms, bring them out to your sides. Extend your fingers forward of the chest so the arms are perpendicular to the floor, or parallel to the floor rather. And then from here, as you feel ready, with the belly hugging in, begin to float the arms up and over the head. So see that the thumbs this time are extending all the way up towards the ceiling. Soften through those frontal ribs. Continue to lengthen through the center chest. As you exhale, glide the hands out to the sides. Tadasana pose. So we're going to begin with a few rounds of Ardha Vinyasa. Inhale, extending the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. Release the chest down towards the thighs. Inhale here, lengthen through the center sternum. As you exhale, release the chest down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, palms face one another. And as you exhale, hands come out to the sides. Again, inhale, floating the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way forward. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, lengthening through the arms, palms face one another. Exhale, releasing the palms up to the sides. Inhale, floating the arms up. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, heart and sternum. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, hands come to the sides. And just adding on to this, inhale, floating up. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, lengthening halfway. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Fingers are spread wide apart. Walk the feet back. Find your way into downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose here, spread those fingers wide apart. Forearms are lifting up off of the shoulders. And allow for the outer triceps to hug in towards one another. Feel the belly engaged here. The frontal chest is actually drawing towards the frontal ribs. And you're breathing as the thigh bones press back all the way towards the heels. That's it. Now as you feel ready, shift forward into a push-up. Lower those knees down. We're going to lower the chest all the way down towards the mat. Take the hands and walk them back so that the palms are hugging right against the outer ribs. As you walk those hands on back, see that the palms are directly underneath the elbows, and then begin to peel the chest on up. Now, as you peel the chest on up, let the crown of the head be long in line with the spine. As you press down through the top of the feet, begin to zipper up from the pubis bone all the way through the crown of the head. Maybe lifting up so much that you could come onto the fingertips. Maybe lifting up so much that you can float the fingers up above, right above the floor. And as you exhale, take the toes down, press down through the feet, begin to float the hips back, downward facing dog pose. So once again here, downward facing dog pose, breathing, spreading across the shoulder blades, allowing for the belly to hug in towards the back of the spine. And then from here, once again, you look forward in between the hands, walk the feet forward towards the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana pose, and as you exhale, glide the hands down to your sides. Take the hands to the hips, bend through the right knee, and begin to spin the right heel into the left inner ankle. As you breathe here, take the hands to the center chest. So see that the right leg is in external rotation. See that the left toes are spread wide apart. Left leg is in Tadasana. Continue to lengthen the right buttocks out to the right heel. As you do so, inhale, float the arms up and out to the sides. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to do this again, so take your arms forward of the chest. Glide your pinky fingers forward in towards one another. Inhale, turn the thumbs up and then raise the arms up above the head. Keep softening through the frontal chest here. And as you exhale, glide the hands back and down and release the hands to the hips. Spin the right leg down, bring the left knee to a bend. So as you bring the left knee to a bend, place the left ankle on the right shin crease. As you continue to breathe here, draw the right outer hip in. Very good. Then from here, take your hands to the center chest. Inhale, float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. So continue here to spread across the toes of the right foot. See that the right leg is in Tadasana. See that the left leg is in external rotation. So the left thigh is turning out from the left hip socket. Now take your hands. glide your hands forward. Bring your hands to parallel, and then begin to allow the fingers to face one another. Draw the thumbs to the ceiling. As you inhale here, raise the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. So continue to press the left heel in towards the right shin, and breathe here as you lengthen through the chest. Continue to lengthen those side ribs up, soften through the front ribs. As you exhale, glide the hands back and down. Release that left leg down towards the mat. Good. We're going to step our feet wide apart here and find our feet into a wide-legged stance. Feet are parallel. Feet are about 3 to 4 feet apart, probably closer to 4 feet apart. And then we're going to spin both our left leg in and our right leg out. As you turn your right leg out, see that your right foot, right heel are in line. Before even we move further, spread across the toes and then release the toes down to the mat. Now notice that the left hip is higher than the right hip, so can you draw the right hip up slightly as you press down through the left outer foot. From here, begin to glide those hips on forward. So now the right hip hinges, and you can feel the left hip turning out as you draw the right hip in. Good. Glide the right hand down the right leg and breathe here as you spin the chest up. As you continue to breathe here, see that the right knee is bent slightly. Allow that left heel to press on down. Inhale, float the left arm up and above the head. So now as that arm floats up and above the head, keep pressing through the right ball of the foot. Keep seeing that the left chest is lengthening as you roll the right shoulder in and up across the spine. So the back body is long here as you breathe. Now inhale, raise that left arm up. Arms come out to the side and bend deeply into that right knee. So the right knee bends deeply here, and allow that left arm to draw back. The left hip turns in, the left arm draws back here. Spread across those toes. Maybe float the toes off of the floor here. This is called Virabhadrasana 2 pose. Virabhadrasana 2 pose, take the hands to the hips, straighten through that right leg and turn your feet in. We're going to turn to the other side. So start by turning your right leg in, turn your left leg out, and then be here for a moment. So as you're here, begin to take that right hip forward, begin to draw the left hip back, and now begin to allow your left hand to come down your left leg. Left hand comes down the left leg. See that the left toes are spread wide apart. Draw the left hip crease in. Draw the right thigh down. So the right hip is drawing down, the left hip is drawing in, and then inhale. Float the right arm up towards the ceiling. So as you take this pose, you're going to wrap the left outer tricep in, and that's going to draw the left shoulder blade down the spine. See that the collarbones are spread wide apart, and we're extending across the chest all the way to the fingers. As you inhale, float the right arm up, bend deeply into the left knee. The left knee bends at a 90-degree angle, and maybe float the left toes up off the mat. So as you float those toes up off the mat, feel the inner and outer arches of the left foot engaged. Continue to allow the left thigh muscle to release down towards the mat as you hug the left buttocks in. Breathe as you extend back through the right fingers. Straighten through the left leg. Take your hands to the hips and then spin your feet back to parallel. Step the feet back together and come into Tadasana pose. So Tadasana pose, palms are facing the front of the mat, toes are spread wide apart. See that the inner and outer legs are hugging in towards one another. Feel the buttocks flesh lengthening down as the center chest lifts on up. Once again, trapezius muscles are releasing down all the way towards the mat. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana pose. Now as you exhale, release the chest all the way down. Inhale, lengthening halfway here. Again, we're going to step those feet into into a downward facing dog pose. Spread across the fingers here. Feel the inner arms lifting up. Feel the outer arms releasing down. Feel the legs engaged here. So you can also feel, as the toes spread wide apart, the inner and outer heels begin to lengthen back to the back of the mat. Now keep that action happening and begin to take the chest over the thighs. So the heels keep going back as the chest comes forward. That's it. Now lower those knees down. Again, lower the chest all the way down towards the mat. Walk the hands back so that the hands are in line with the side ribs. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, peel the chest on up. So the crown of the head is low. The breath is long and slow here, and you're floating the chest up just slightly as you breathe here into the belly. As you tuck the toes underneath, press down through the feet. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, pressing back. Downward facing dog pose again. Downward facing dog pose. So brief vinyasa in between our postures. Again, looking in between the hands, walking those feet forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, folding. Inhale, floating the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana pose, and as you exhale, arms release down to the side. So again, we take the hands to the hips and we bend through the right knee this time. Right knee bends to 90 degrees, spin the right heel in, just like this. Right leg is an external rotation, just like it was a moment ago in our triangle pose. So what you could do here is you could begin to lean on forward and take hold of the right shin. And you can glide the right foot up towards the left shin or even as high as the thigh crease. Now, if your balance is really off, consider taking your left hand to the wall as you do this. So you can always pause the tape. Well, you could keep it going, and then you could just find your way to a wall. Place your left hand on the wall, and then take your right foot either to the left shin or to the left thigh, not to the left knee, because you don't want to put pressure on the knee. Once you've found that, you could take your right hand to the center chest, left hand still on the wall. If your hand's on the wall, walk the fingers up the wall, and then take your right arm all the way up. Now, turn your left fingers to face the center of the room. Allow the left outer hip to hug in. Allow the buttocks flesh to release on down towards the mat. And breathe here as you hug the belly in towards the back of the spine. Good. As you exhale here, bring the hands back to the center chest and release that right leg on down. So this is this is called triangle pose, tree pose, Vrikshasana. Sorry, all the words are jumbled. All right, so from here, you're going to take your left knee, bring it to a bend, spin your left heel to touch your right ankle. Very good. Then you're going to hinge on forward, begin to bend into that knee, and then glide the left foot up towards the right shin. You could stay there or glide that foot all the way up until it reaches into the thigh crease. Now, once it reaches into the thigh crease, begin to bring both hands into the center chest. If this is a challenge for you, please take your right hand to the wall. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, it may serve as the best thing to do in this moment. As you hug the right outer hip in, you can walk the right fingers up the wall. As you do that, then you're going to begin to lift the left fingers up towards the ceiling. Turn the right fingers in to face the left fingers. To lift up through the chest, just begin to feel the side ribs lengthening all the way to the tops of the fingers. You may actually find that your body moves away from the wall here. And then you're continuing to breathe here. Belly's hugging in, back of the shoulders are lifting, and you're breathing. And then eventually you'll take your right fingers to the wall, draw those fingers down as you bring your left fingers into the chest. Then from here, you'll softly release that left leg on down. Hands come to the hips again, step the feet wide apart. See that the feet are parallel. And then from here, turn your left foot in, press through the outer left foot, turn your right foot out. See that the right heel and left arch align. And then begin to hinge at those hips. Take your right hand again, place it down your right shin, take your left arm up towards the ceiling. Once again here, press through both feet. See that the toes are spread wide apart of your right foot. And maybe add a little bend to that right knee. So the right calf moves towards the right shin. Hug the right outer buttocks in and continue to press through the left outer foot. So notice here that the right side of the chest is lengthening forward to the right armpit here. Continue to breathe as you lift through the left arm, left side of the chest. Keep lengthening up, keep lengthening up, keep lengthening up. Inhale, float that left arm up and bend deeply into that right knee. Good. As you bend into that right knee, take your right forearm, place it on your right thigh, and then inhale here, draw the left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. As you press through that heel, begin to spin the left arm forward and glide that arm up and over the head. Keep pressing through that left heel. Keep bending into that right knee. Lift through both sides of the chest. As you inhale here, left arm glides back up. Warrior two pose. Warrior two pose, straighten through that leg and turn your feet into parallel. From parallel, turn your right foot in, turn your left leg out, and then once again, we're back in a setup for Trikonasana, triangle pose. So as you feel ready, glide your left hand down that leg. Good. As you glide your hand down that leg, take the right hand to the right hip crease, and then bring your right hand all the way up towards the ceiling here. Now, press through the feet, spread across the toes. See that the left heel, left ball of the foot are pressing down. See that the right arm is lifting up. Continue to lengthen through the right side of the chest here. Press that right heel down. As you lengthen here, feel the right side of the chest reaching up even higher. Keep wrapping the left tricep in. Keep lengthening through the right side of the chest. Both shoulders are spreading towards the fingers. As you inhale here, raise that right arm up and then bend deeply into that left knee. Once you bend into the left knee, see that the left knee is parallel to the floor. Now take the left forearm, glide your left elbow to the left forearm, and then inhale, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. Spin the right palm to face over the head, and then glide the right arm up and over the head. Press that right heel down. Breathe here as you lengthen through the left side of the chest. Keep bending into that left knee. Inhale, float that right arm up. Glide the right arm back, and then straighten through that left leg. Take your hands to the hips here and turn both feet in towards parallel. Now, press into the outer feet. Begin to hinge the body weight forward and glide the hands down so that the palms come to the floor. Come up onto your fingertips. Walk the fingers back and see that the heel of the palm is in line with the heel of the foot. Hug the outer elbows in here and continue to lengthen through the chest. Spread across the toes. Lengthen through the heart, chest, and sternum as you breathe here. As you exhale, release the head on down. Continuing to breathe here. Continuing to release. So once again here, as you breathe, the knees, calf flesh continues to move towards the knees. The hamstrings continue to move towards the thighs. Hug the outer elbows in here. Good. Walk the fingers forward. Inhale, lengthen through the chest. Wrap the outer triceps in and breathe here. Nice. As you exhale, bend those elbows once again and release the head all the way down towards the mat. Interlace right thumb towards left elbow crease, left thumb towards right elbow crease. Just release the head on down. This is a nice way to just lengthen through the body. Keep that weight drifting into the outer foot, the outer feet. And then from here, you'll take your hands back down towards the mat. Inhale, peel up the chest. Hands come to the hips and step the feet towards one another. Find your way back to Tadasana. So from Tadasana pose, spin the palms to face the front of the room. Inhale, float. Well, actually, before we do this, grab your strap and place your strap right over your right shoulder. And you'll place your strap right over the right shoulder here. And then you'll take your right arm and extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. Right palm faces the back of the room. Now place your right hand and grab hold of that strap on the right shoulder and draw the right elbow towards the right ear. Take the left arm. Left palm is extended out through the left side of the chest. Turn the thumb down towards the mat. And then as you bend the knees, begin to bend that left elbow and glide your left hand up to hold on to the other side of that strap. As you begin to straighten the legs, see that the right elbow turns towards the front of the room. See that the left elbow begins to release down towards the floor. So as we breathe here, the left side of the chest is lengthening to the left elbow. The right side of the chest is lengthening to the right elbow. And the left side of the chest is lifting up towards the left armpit. So even here, you have lengthened both sides of the chest. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Then from here, you'll softly release through the left arm, extend it up and out, and release it on down. Right arm extends up and out, release it on down. Take the strap over the opposite shoulder here. Okay. Inhale, floating the left arm up towards the ceiling. Spin the left palm to face the back of the room. Release the left palm down on the top of that strap. Take the right arm, extend the right palm out to the side of the room. Spin the right thumb down. Glide that right thumb up so that the right hand holds onto the strap. Both hands are holding onto the strap here. Hug the belly in. See that the belly continues to draw back towards the back of the room as you draw the elbows in opposite directions here. Breathe as you continue to lengthen. Left elbow up, right elbow down. Keep lifting to the right side of the chest. Good. And as you exhale here, release the right palm down, release the left arm down, spin the palms to face the front of the room. Tadasana pose. So we're going to place the strap one more time over the right shoulder. And you're going to bring your hands to your hips and step the feet wide apart, like 3 feet apart this time, not wider than that. And now you're going to turn both feet over the left. And see that your left foot, left knee, and left hip is all in one line. And then see that your right heel and your right hip is in a line. So you're going to turn your hips so that your hips are parallel with one another. They're in the same plane. The left hip and the right hip, they are in a neutral rotation. The hips are in a neutral rotation. You're going to take your right arm again and extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. You're going to spin the right palm down and glide your right hand onto that strap. You're going to take your left arm out to the side, turn the thumb down, and then glide your left hand up the strap. Now you're going to take your right elbow up towards the ceiling, your left elbow down towards the floor. As you press through the feet, begin to turn your chest over towards that right foot. Now begin to hinge at that hip, just like we did in Trikonasana. We hinged at the hip, and this time you're going to take the right elbow down towards that left heel. As you breathe here, press through that right heel. Keep lengthening the right side of the chest forward. Keep drawing that left hip back. So the toes are spread wide apart of the left foot. Keep breathing here. Now, as you hug the belly in, begin to press to the feet. Inhale, lift that elbow up, lift the chest up, and then spin both feet to parallel. Take your strap and place your strap all the way over to the opposite shoulder here. Take your left arm. Before we do that, let's take our hands. Let's bring our hands to our hips. Let's spin our feet over to the opposite side. So here, as you spread across the toes, draw the right hip back. As you press through the left heel, draw the left hip forward. Inhale, floating the left arm up, spinning the left palm back, placing the left hand on the left shoulder. Taking the right arm out, turning the right thumb down, gliding the right hand up, the strap. So see that the left elbow is lifting towards the ceiling, see that the right elbow is drawing towards the floor. And as you hinge at the hips, press that left heel down. Begin to float the chest all the way forward. So as you breathe here, keep lengthening through that left elbow. Keep bending through that right knee. And as you draw the right hip back, keep pressing the right elbow back. Keep lengthening through the left side of the chest. Good. And breathing here for another breath. Nice. Hugging the belly in, pressing through the feet. Inhale to lift the chest up. Spin the feet back in. And release the strap on down. So now, if you have blocks, you're going to place your blocks right in front of your left leg. So we're going to come back to our side. You're going to place your blocks right in front of your left foot. Spin your feet over towards the, spin your hips over to the left side. So now, see that your left foot, left knee, left hip are all in one line. See that the right heel is pressing down, right hip is drawing forward. Keep drawing your feet, or keep pressing through the feet. Spread across the toes. So even lifting up the left toes is a good action to do here. Now draw the left outer hip in, draw the right hip forward. Begin to hinge at those hips, hinge at those hips, hinge at those hips, and release the hands down to those blocks. As you spread across the toes, bend lightly into the left knee and draw that left hip back. Continue to lengthen through the right side of the chest. Continue to wrap the outer triceps in. So press through that right heel. Lengthen through both sides of the chest and breathe here as you allow the eyes to soften. Wrap the outer armpits in. Continue to engage through the core muscles and breathe here. So as you breathe, you're continuing to lengthen. This is called pyramid pose. So we're not sitting in the left leg. In fact, we're bending that left knee slightly and drawing the outer left hip back. And as you press through the right heel, you're drawing the belly in and lengthening through the right side of the chest. All right, from here, inhale, lifting up, turning the feet back to parallel, turning the feet over to the other side. Blocks come to either side of that leg. Hands come to the hips, and then you're going to spread across the toes, draw the right outer hip back. Press to the left heel, draw the left hip forward. Keep drawing the hips, right hip back, left hip forward. Hinge at those hips, and place the hands all the way down towards the mat. Now as you spread across the toes, see that that right hip draws back, see that that left hip draws forward, and breathe here. Continue to breathe as you lengthen through the chest. And as you breathe here, draw that right hip back, draw that left hip forward, and continue to breathe. So continue to press through that left heel, continue to draw the right hip back as you breathe here. Good. And once again here, you're not dumping into the right foot. You're actually bending through the right knee, but hugging that right hip back. So we have a lot of length and space here as we draw the left hip forward for pyramid pose. Very nice. And then from here, you're going to lift on up. You can lift those blocks with you. Take your blocks, bring them back to center, and release the blocks out to your sides. Come back to Tadasana pose. So spread across the toes. Remember, calves are drawing forward, thighs are drawing back, buttocks is drawing in, belly's drawing in. And then as you lift up through the sternum, your trapezius muscles are lengthening down the back body. All right, so we're going to take our block, and we're going to place our block in between our legs. You'll place the block in between your legs here. Good. And you're going to bring the legs closer together. So the thighs are going to be parallel with one another. Thighs are going to be parallel. You're squeezing the legs towards one another. Good. As you feel ready, begin to sit down into that chair. All right? As you sit down into that chair, inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. So now we're in Utkatasana chair pose, and you're hugging in those legs. The inner thighs are releasing down towards the mat. The back body is spreading here, and you're hugging that belly in. Keep lengthening through those arms. As you straighten those legs here, take the arms out to the sides. So you'll notice that action. So as you bend the knees, the calves move forward towards the shins, the thighs move down towards the hamstrings. You're pressing into the heels, the toes are spread wide apart. With the arms, we float the arms up, we hug the belly in. We take the arms forward to the chest. We could do this again, just like we did earlier. Take the pinky fingers towards one another, turn the thumbs up, and then glide the arms up above the head. That's it. Straighten through those legs, release the arms to the side. So we'll do it one more time. This time, no block. So you can move the block out to the side. And then from here, you'll take the legs towards one another. You can bring the feet to about hips width distance apart as well. And as you feel ready, you'll bend those knees, bend those knees, bend those knees. Utkatasana chair pose. Wrap the outer thighs in. Inhale, float the arms up. Glide the fingers forward in front of you. Glide the fingers towards one another. Keep sinking down. So once again, shins forward, thighs back, belly in. Inhale, float the arms up. So keep lengthening through the side ribs. Keep hugging the belly in. Keep softening the frontal ribs to the frontal hip points. Keep lifting the frontal hip points to the frontal ribs. And then straighten through those legs and take the arms down and out to the sides. So really open up the chest here as you spread across those feet, spread across the collarbones as well, and allow the fingers to come slightly back of the hips. The fingers are spread wide apart here. Good. Now, we're going to find our way onto our mat. And as you find your way onto your mat, let's hug your knees into the chest. So, as you hug the knees into the chest, take the arms out to the sides, and then let the knees draw in towards the elbow, and then let the elbows hug over towards the left side. So breathing in here, continuing to breathe into the hips, continuing to breathe into the shoulders. Good, and then come back to center. Knees hugging back to the chest, and then to the other side. And breathe. Good, then bring those knees back to center. Release those feet down onto the mat. Let's take our hands and bring our hands to the outer edges of the mat. The feet are bent. First, bring your hands to your feet and just see that your heels are no closer than a hand's width distance apart towards the buttocks. Then you're going to take your hands, grab hold of the outer edges of the mat, roll your left shoulder under, roll the right shoulder under. Now, continue to grab hold of that mat. Press down through the feet. Continue to feel the calves moving towards the shins. Continue to feel the thighs drawing towards the hamstrings. Pin the outer hips in. Feel the belly engaged here. So guys, we were here at the very beginning of class. And as you continue to breathe here, grip the outer edges of the mat. You can actually turn maybe even the triceps in towards the shoulders a little bit more. So the collarbones are spread across the chest. And the trapezius muscles are lengthening down the spine. So you could even feel that lengthening away from the ears, and the neck muscles grow long here just because of that. As you exhale, lower the pelvis all the way down. Release the fingers. We're going to do it again. So grip onto the mat, press down through the feet, toes are spread wide apart. Feet are in Virabhadrasana feet, Virabhadrasana the first foot. So the feet are flexed, the inner and outer ankles are lifting up. Then the calves are moving towards the shins. The thighs are moving towards the hamstrings. The belly is engaged here, and then you could maybe walk the shoulders under again. Now, if you'd like, you could take the hands, bring them into robot arms, and just breathe here as you spread the fingers wide apart. Continue to feel that buttocks lengthening towards the heels. Trapezius muscles are moving down the spine. Extend the arms all the way forward. Maybe bring the fingers underneath the spine. Maybe interlace the fingers underneath you. And breathe here. Good. And as you exhale, softly release the pelvis all the way down. All right, so release the hands, release the shoulders. Now take a block. Place a block right underneath your back on the lowest setting. And breathe here. Grip onto the mat. Lift the chest and breathe. Just let your body relax here. Now, if you want, left knee comes into the center chest, left leg extends up towards the ceiling. This is called Ardha Viparita Karani, or one leg upside down action or pose. So spread across the feet. See that the belly is engaged here. See that the right toes are pressing down. See that that outer left thigh is hugging in. Outer left hip bone is hugging in. Good, and as you exhale, left knee bends in. Release the left foot on down. Same with the right. Right knee draws in. Right leg extends up. Flex across those feet. Spread across the toes. Wrap the outer triceps in. Breathe. Continue to press down through the left toes. Continue to engage the core muscles. And release. All right, bend that knee. You're going to take your back, lift it up off that block. Bring your back down to the floor. If you have both blocks, bring your feet together. Bring the knees apart. Blocks are underneath the legs. Release the hands down either on the belly, the chest, or on the sides. And just breathe here. Just let it go. Breathe and release. All right, and then take your legs now, extend them fully forward on your mat. Just release the blocks out to the sides. No need for blocks. Shavasana. And then from here, you'll bring those knees into a bent position. You'll roll the legs over onto your side. You'll gently press your way up and find your way into a seated position. Take the hands to the center chest. Release the hands. Release the chin towards the chest. Lift the head. Open the eyes. Namaste, yogis. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon. Our next Hatha class is going to be on Tuesday, June the 16th, 2020. So hopefully I will see you then. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Be well, be happy, my friends. Namaste, yogis. Thank you guys so much. And I will look forward to seeing all of you very, very soon. Thank you guys so much.